More than 100 small aftershocks have hit off the coast of Humboldt County. This after yesterday's 7.0 earthquake. It seems strange to say a quake that magnitude did not make a major impact, but it looks like that's what happened. We saw some big messes at homes and businesses in cities like Ferndale and Garberville, but no one was hurt, fortunately. Of course, that quake also triggered a tsunami warning for about an hour, and that included the entire Bay Area coast. So we saw people, maybe you, evacuating to higher ground in places like Pacifica, the San Francisco Zoo, even across the bay in Berkeley. So here is a look at the tsunami hazard map. And from the state's Department of Conservation, that's what it looks like. The yellow signifies hazard areas that could be at risk in an extreme tsunami situation. And then when you zoom in on the Bay Area, it covers more land area than you might think. It's not just the coast, even parts of the bay shore could be at risk in a worst case scenario. But here's the question. How likely is that to actually happen? Our Kara St. Cyr asked the experts.
Earthquake. I feel it.
The day after a massive magnitude 7.0 quake off Humboldt County, people in the Bay Area are rethinking their tsunami plans. For a time Thursday, much of the Bay Area was put under a tsunami risk. Grant says the alerts were a frightening reminder of just how vulnerable the Bay is to earthquakes and natural disasters. His first thought was, where do I go?
What do we do if it does get to the level of where we live? And where are you now? And if you are on the lower levels where we work, how do we get out of here?
Anita Walters stood near Chinatown when alerts told her she was in the danger zone. But after 30 years in San Francisco, she had doubts about the severity of the tsunami.
I think it's denial. I think that we all don't want to believe that something like this could happen.
Walter's biggest question was, how serious is the risk, and what would a tsunami in the Bay look like? Ross Stein, the CEO of Timblor, says the risk for communities located just around the Bay, like San Francisco and Oakland, is fairly low, and it's based mostly on how the Bay is shaped.
Fortunately, it's low, and it's because of the narrow Golden Gate. So think about waves coming in from the Pacific. Basically, only the waves that can shoot right through into the gate really have the power to impact the coast.
But communities like Emeryville and Berkeley are at a higher risk for tsunami waves.
If you're at Berkeley or Emeryville and you're on the water and you look out, then you can see straight out the gate. So it's Emeryville, Alameda, Berkeley that are the most vulnerable to a tsunami.
What Stein worries about most will be a rare megathrust earthquake with a magnitude of 9.0 and above, and an epicenter closer to the Bay Area. It's this kind of quake that will put parts of San Francisco's Marina or Embarcadero at risk.
It's possible, but fortunately remote. So it would take an earthquake, let's say on the Hayward Fault on the east side of the bay, or the San Andreas on the west side, that shook strong enough that it causes some kind of undersea landslide in the bay that would trigger more waves. But the bay is very shallow.
David Snyder, the tsunami warning coordinator for the National Tsunami Warning Center, says don't expect a tsunami wave like what's been portrayed in some films. Instead, imagine a severe flooding scenario.
It's not going to be a wind wave or a surfing wave. It's not going to be the cute little emoji that we like to put on the websites, right? It's not going to be that curling breaking wave. Instead, it's going to be a surge, like a storm surge from a hurricane, or a very broad scale ocean flood that moves in and keeps coming and coming and coming.
The best advice from experts: check the tsunami hazard maps for the Bay Area and create your own disaster plan.